Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about how do you rebuild after being in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. So many people ask this question. So many people are stumped. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to move on. They can't trust anybody. They're afraid to get into another relationship. They're afraid to date. So how do you move on? How do you rebuild after a narcissistic relationship? Well, the first realization that you have to have is that just because you dealt with a narcissist doesn't mean everybody's like that, okay? Yes, there are a lot of narcissists out there, a lot. And people say, well, there's only 1% of narcissists in the world. 1% according to whom, all right? Narcissists don't want to get diagnosed. So there's a lot more narcissistic people running around. And remember, narcissism is on a spectrum. You have people that are very narcissistic and people that are low on the spectrum that may just have a couple of narcissistic qualities. So the thing that you have to understand is you can't group all narcissists in one box. Each individual is different, and you've got to analyze each person that you deal with. But how do you move on from something like that? After being lied to, maybe cheated on, manipulated, now you don't trust anybody because you really thought you could trust this person. What I want you to do is look back on your past relationship and ask yourself, how quickly did you get into that relationship with that past narcissist? Guarantee you moved fast because a narcissist will always rush the relationship. They want to get that supply. So the first thing that you have to keep in mind is you rushed with somebody. You took that person at face value. In other words, what was coming out of their mouth. Guarantee you didn't check that person out inside out. Guarantee there were red flags that you missed or you let go because you thought you were dealing with an authentic type of person. And why did you think you had a real one? Because they were consistent in the beginning, okay? This is how a narcissist will fool you in the beginning. They'll be very, very consistent and they will give you a lot of attention. And this is how people get fooled. But you have to look at the timing of things, all right? If somebody is saying they love you in the first month, that is a red flag, you guys, because they don't know you. So you have to look at this person and say, why are they rushing the relationship? What is it about me that they want from me? Is it something financial? Am I in a better situation than they are? Maybe I have a house, they don't. They want to move into your house. Maybe they're looking to start a business and use you to finance that business. So you have to look back on that relationship and look at where you were in life and where that person is in life. And one of the best things I could tell you guys, or the best advice I could give you is find somebody that's on your level, all right? In every which way, if you can, all right? Don't find people that are beneath you. And what I mean by that is you want somebody who's emotionally responsible. They're stable in their job. If you're stable in your job, they're not going bankrupt. They don't have all these problems going on. They're even keeled, okay? In other words, they're coming into the relationship like you're coming into the relationship. They're not coming into the relationship with a lot of emotional baggage. And narcissists come into a relationship with a lot of emotional baggage, okay? Because they are an emotional mess. They are somebody who's very, very insecure. That's another thing. Try to find somebody who's not deeply insecure and that is going to be jealous of you and what you do, okay? You want somebody that's confident and everything like that, but wants to see you do well. And that's another way that narcissists try to fool you. They try to pretend that they're confident. So you want to rebuild now after the last relationship. So in order to rebuild, you've got to look back, okay? And you've got to recognize the mistakes that you made in those prior relationships. What mistake did you make in your past relationships? What was it that you did that, got you into that relationship? Were you lusting after the narcissist and you thought it was love? And this is so common, you guys. So many people are lusting the narcissist without really looking at the character of that person. Is that person a kind, understanding, generous, giving person? They're not looking at that. They're looking at, oh, they're really cute. Oh, I want to jump in bed with them or something like that. Just because somebody you're lusting after, lust is short term. It's not long term. And that may be why you got into a bad relationship with somebody narcissistic. It was a lust thing. You were lusting after them and you really didn't recognize or want to see the character flaws of that narcissist. In other words, maybe they were ghosting you. Maybe they weren't texting you back right away. Maybe they abandoned you when you asked them for something. Those are all signs of somebody's character. Do they have good character? So now you want to rebuild. So you've got to recognize your prior mistakes and say, okay, I've got to recognize when I see any of these toxic red flags. In other words, the minute somebody lies to you, you know that that person's going to lie to you again in the future, okay? Somebody who's a liar doesn't all of a sudden become a non-liar, okay? So that's why a lot of people say, well, can a narcissist change? 99.9% of the time, a narcissist cannot change. And why is that? Because a liar doesn't change, all right? And a narcissist won't acknowledge they have a problem. They don't see themselves as a problem. They just feel like they're doing what they got to do to survive, and they're not doing anything different than anybody else does. And you know what? I'm not going to have you screw me over. See, narcissists are very afraid of somebody screwing them over. So that's why they protect themselves. That's why a lot of them cheat in the beginning, because they're afraid that if you cheat on them, that would crush that narcissist, knowing that you got over on them. That's how fragile their ego is. But they feel like, oh, well, if I cheat on you, if you end up cheating on me, it's no big deal because I got you first. All right. I know people that think like this, you guys, and this is how they think. Okay. So the thing is, you want to look at, you're rebuilding your life, right? So now you come out of this narcissistic relationship, and the first thing that you want to do is give yourself time. Don't jump into another relationship quickly, all right? You want to take your time with it. You want to work on yourself. I hate when people say, oh, work on yourself, but it's true. You've got to work on yourself because number one, you've got to be independent and self-sufficient before you go into any other relationship. In other words, this will build you up so that you are not codependent on the next guy or girl. You're able to take care of yourself so that if that relationship doesn't work out, guess what? You're okay. You're able to pay your bills. You're taking care of yourself health-wise. You have other friendships and relationships and family relationships. You've got other things going on, okay? Now, you got to understand something. The reason that narcissists are able to bounce back after a relationship is because a narcissist always has other things going on. They never put all their eggs in one basket, and they never put all their eggs in a basket with you, okay? They're always prospecting out there. That's why they're such good networkers. They're always making friends and networking. And, although they may not have a lot of good friends, they have a lot of acquaintances because they're always leaving their doors open. Narcissists always leave their doors open. So they never want to get stuck. They never want to get alone because that's the biggest fear of a narcissist is to be alone, to be abandoned, okay? So they always have something going on. So when you broke up with that narcissist, guess what? They weren't sweating you because they had other options going on. But you, most likely, only had the option of the narcissist, okay? So when you move forward and you rebuild, you take it slowly, okay? Time is your weapon against any future narcissist. Trust me when I tell you, okay? When you take it slow with somebody, that mask is going to fall off, and it usually falls off within 3 to 6 months. So you're going to have a good opportunity to really see what this person is about. You want to be able to see somebody when they're angry, when they're sad, when they're mad, when they're poor, when they got money. People change in different situations, when they have money, when they don't have money, when they're depressed or whatever. And you've got to be able to know whoever you get involved with in the future inside out, okay? And that is why you move slowly, okay? But even though you move slowly with that person, you still keep your life going. You don't center on the next person that you get involved with and put all your energy into the relationship unless you are in a very serious, exclusive relationship and this person has earned your trust, okay? So you always need to have things going on. You need to get out of your comfort zone and get out there and start making friends, networking, okay? Joining groups, doing something healthy for yourself, going hiking, paint your house, redo something around your house, doing things that are positive in your life to uplift you so that you move forward and feel good about yourself, okay? So that you don't need somebody to make you happy. That, if somebody comes into your life, it's great and everything like that, but if they don't, you've got other things going on. So how do you rebuild yourself? You keep yourself busy, okay? You don't sit home, you don't cry and everything about what went through. I mean, you need to go through the mourning period. That's okay. So everybody deals with grief differently. Some people are relieved to get rid of the narcissist, and some people grieve the narcissist because they're still thinking of the good times with that person. You've got to look at that person's core character. If you're still grieving over the narcissist, you're not seeing that beast for who they are, okay? And they are a beast because they're a liar, they're a manipulator, and they are trying to get over on you, and they're trying to control you and have the power in the relationship. A narcissist is trying to put you down. Understand that. They're not in a equal, fair relationship. They may pretend to, but they always have to have the power, be on top. And how do they do that? By subtle digs, by putting you down, by dismissing you, by ignoring you, by not validating you, okay? This is how a narcissist puts you down, okay? And you don't want to deal with that. You want somebody that acknowledges you, validates you, and builds you up, all right? Period, dot, end of story. You want somebody that adds to your life, doesn't take away from your life, and narcissists take away from your life. So once you leave that narcissistic relationship, you go through that mourning period. It may take you a couple months. Sometimes it takes people longer. It's okay to grieve, all right? But try to keep yourself busy. You don't want to fall into a depression. A lot of people after a narcissistic relationship, they're going to therapy. They're thinking there's something wrong with them when it's the narcissist who belongs in therapy. This is the biggest realization that I have to tell you guys, okay? The problem isn't you. The problem is you dealt with a toxic narcissist, okay? So stop thinking that if you were transparent with that person, if you spoke the truth, if you were willing to, resolve conflict and be a fair person, the problem is definitely not fucking you. It's that you were dealing with a toxic person that was twisting things and trying to make you think that you were crazy. You got to see it for what it is and spot the fact that you dealt with a toxic person. You got to be able to spot these people, you guys. And the best people that could do it is experience. It takes experience, all right? I've had tons of experience. I could spot a narcissist a mile away. I spotted my son's teacher. I spotted people in my family. I spotted everybody that I know almost, okay, with their narcissistic qualities. So the point I'm trying to make is you've got to really know when you're dealing with somebody toxic when you move on so that you don't put yourself back into that position. And you've got to forgive yourself. You got to say, you know what? I got involved with a toxic narcissist. I didn't know, okay? I didn't know. I got manipulated. I felt bad for the person because they gave me a sob story in the beginning that they had a rough childhood and I made excuses and everything like that. But guess what? Now you're on to the game, okay? And now the next narcissist that comes into your life, you're going to spot them, delete and block them and get them the fuck out, okay? Because now you know what it is. Now you know what manipulation is. Now you know when somebody's playing games with you and lying to you and telling you, their phone battery died all the time or something. This is game, all right? Stop making excuses. This is game. You see a pattern of behavior like that, you know that you're dealing with somebody who's shady and playing game on you, and you got to recognize that. And don't doubt yourself. I'm telling you, the worst thing you could do is doubt your gut. Your gut is telling you something's not right, and you need to trust it, okay? So these are the tips for moving forward. You got to keep busy, and you've got to have a plan. Okay, what am I going to do for myself now? I'm not going to jump right into another relationship. I'm going to work on myself. Let me take a look at where I live. How can I do something different? What could I do in this house or this apartment to make it nice? Okay, maybe you're going to buy something. Maybe you're going to, reorganize your house. Maybe you're going to clean your refrigerator. Something positive that's going to, redirect your mind onto other positive things and feel good about yourself. You're going to go for a walk down the street every day for a few minutes and put your headphones on and jam out to your music. You're going to call an old friend. You're going to go and you're going to Google meetup groups or any kind of interest groups in your area. This is how you keep the blood going, okay? And you don't fall back on reminiscing about that narcissist. Understand, your life started before the narcissist. You had a life, and you will have a life after the narcissist, okay? So, even people that are married, understand, they could be married 20 years and get a divorce. But the important thing is that even if you were in that situation, you'll be okay because you've got that self-confidence and you got your shit together and know that, I'm not codependent on anybody. I know I will be okay because you don't know what life could throw at you, all right? Trust me when I tell you. It's like I see a lot of people, they think when they get married, it's forever. It's not necessarily always forever, okay? Just go to divorce court and you will see it there, okay? But that's why you need your own self-confidence and say to yourself, no matter what happens in life, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to move on with my life. So I'm going to keep busy and I'm going to work on networking and interest groups and making friends. And the other thing is, and then when you start dating, here's the next thing, you guys. Now you're going to start dating. Once you start dating, you've got to look at this person every which way, all right? You want to look at their social media. I mean, I did prior podcasts on all this kind of dating stuff. Go back on my prior podcasts. Look at, my podcast, your cutoff game needs to be fierce, and things that you need to look at when you're dating somebody, okay? And you're going to move slowly, okay? This is the biggest thing. You're not going to jump into a relationship. Trust is earned over a period of time, a long period of time, by the way, okay? There's people that, go out a year or two and they think they know somebody. You don't fucking know that person. Trust me when I tell you, okay? I was married over 13 years, and there were things like 15 years later that I found out about that person. So you never truly will know everything about somebody, but you want to get a gist of the important things of that person, okay? And you want to look at their family. Oh my God, this is like gold. You got to look at somebody's family when you move on, because guarantee that narcissist came from a toxic family 99% of the time, or they were the golden child. They were the entitled child, that got everything they wanted and felt like, they're entitled to everything. They're better than everything. Look at that fucking family, and it's going to tell you exactly who that person is. And look at where that person's been. Where do they spend their time? Okay? Who are their friends? What is their pattern of behavior? Are they respectful? Are they sarcastic? You got to know the red flags. And I got to do a podcast on this, a real good podcast on all about the red flags and everything, so that you guys can really pinpoint it and see it. See, unless you've lived through it and you've experienced it, you're going to miss things because you're not going to recognize it. But education is your key and knowledge is your power. So the more that you know about what is shady and what is toxic, the more powerful you become. So you'll be able to move on and you'll be able to spot it and you'll be able to tell when somebody is transparent with you. And this is the biggest one, you guys, all right? You want it when you move on, like people say, how do I move on? How do I trust and everything like that? You know, trust is earned over a period of time, but you want to see how transparent that person is when you ask them a question that they don't want to answer, okay? If they, don't answer the question or they deflect or they get angry, that is a red flag. You want to look at how this person fights. How does this person fight? When they get angry and you ask them something, do they all of a sudden give you the silent treatment? This is what they're going to do every time you bring up something. Or, do they flip the blame on you? Oh my God, this is the biggest clue. Somebody who flips the blame on you is somebody who does not want to take accountability, okay? So all of these that I'm pointing out are red flags for when you move on to dating and seeing who you're dealing with. But like I said, time is your weapon against being in another toxic relationship, okay? The longer you take it, the better, all right, to really get to know somebody. And if you got to question it or you're confused about something, when you're dealing with somebody new, there's a problem, okay? There's a problem because when you have to question it, that somebody is not being transparent with you. That's your clue, okay, you guys? So just understand, this is all a process, all right? Your pain is your lesson. You went through your pain. You've got to accept what you went through. You've got to accept the fact that you dealt with a toxic person, that the problem is them, not you, okay? And that they are not going to change. This is who they are. But now you're going to accept the fact that you're going to move on and you're going to rebuild. And you're going to work on yourself. You're going to give yourself time and you're going to take it slow in getting to know people, okay? And that's how you rebuild from a narcissistic relationship. Understand this, okay? Nobody's life is perfect. And anybody that tells you that is full of shit, all right? Because I've seen many lives. I've seen rich people's lives. I've seen poor people's lives. I've seen people that try to post that they got the perfect family and everything like that. And a lot of them are full of shit, all right? So understand, everybody's got problems in some way or somehow, but a lot of people don't show you that, all right? So your problem was you dealt with somebody like this, and now you're moving on from it, and you're going to make your life better, okay? Because you're educating yourself, and you're going to be better off for it, and you just got to ride that wave till you get yourself going again, all right? You really don't know what it is till you're down. Once you're down, you got to hit rock bottom, okay? Believe me, I know, I've been there. You got to hit rock bottom, and then all of a sudden, you've got to pick yourself up and you say, all right, enough is enough. Enough of feeling bad about this. It's time to move forward and get something going, okay? And this is how you do it. And the way I did it was through my spirituality and my faith in God, all right? God is what kept me grounded. And that's what kept me through and helped me when I dealt with so many, horrific things that I had to deal with my son's mental illness. Okay, you guys, you want to talk about tough, being in and out of hospitals, 6 different hospitals in 6 months. And I did it alone. Okay, I had no support. All right. I was on my own in that hospital at night with CAT scans and everything. And it was God that kept me grounded to get me through it. And I said, God, man, if I could get through this, I could get through anything. And the same with you. You don't know how strong you are till strong is your only option. You will be okay. Have faith. You will be okay. All right, you guys? And focus in on what you got to do. You make a plan each week. Today, I'm going to take a 10-minute walk. Today, I'm going to work on this new business. Today, I'm going to save $5. Whatever it is, okay? Today, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes and listen to some real relaxing music and just close my eyes and chill out, okay? Whatever it is, whatever is positive, and this is how you rebuild yourself and you get that toxicity out of your system, okay? I hope that helps you. If it did, hit the subscribe button and please share the podcast. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.